Assalamualaikum, my name is Suno Donat Lena Asri and my metric number is S70950. And today I would like to present the background of Singapore. Singapore is a small country located in Southeast Asia and is officially known as the Republic of Singapore. It consists of the one main island and several smaller islands. Singapore became an independent nation on 9 August 1965. Although it's a small country with limited natural resources, Singapore has developed into one of the richest and the most modern countries in the world. It is well known for its clean environment, modern buildings, strong economy and high standard of living. Next, let us look at the flag of the Singapore. The flag consists of two colors, red and white, with a crescent moon and 5 stars. The red color represents brotherhood and equity among all people, while the white color symbolizes purity and honesty. The crescent moon represents a young nation and continue to grow and progress. The 5 stars stand for democracy, peace, progress, justice, and equity. Together, this symbol reflects the values of aspiration of Singapore. In the term of location, Singapore is situated near Malaysia and Indonesia. It's a strategic location, making it an important center of international trade and shipping. Many ships pass through Singapore every day, helping the country become one of the world's busiest trading hubs. Lastly, Singapore follows a parliamentary republic system. The current president is Tharman Shanmugaratnam, who serves as the head of state, while Lawrence Wong is the prime minister and head of government. The Parliament of Singapore is responsible for making law and discussing national issues. This system helps maintain stability and support the country's continuous development. Overall, Singapore is a successful and well-developed country because it is a strong government, strategic location, and hardworking people. That's all for me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and good day everyone. My name is Nuralia Azwani binti Ali. My metric number is S70194. In this presentation, I will explain Singapore trade scenario and macroeconomic analysis from 2021 until 2025. First, let us look at Singapore trade scenario. Singapore has a highly open economy and depends heavily on international trade. In fact, its trade volume is much larger than its domestic output because the country acts as a major global logistic and re-export hub. Based on the data, Singapore export increased from 614.1 billion Singapore dollars in 2021 to 739.4 billion Singapore dollars in 2025. Import also increased from 545.9 billion to 658.3 billion during the same period. Throughout these 5 years, import remained higher than imports, showing that Singapore consistently record a trade surplus. Trade volume grew significantly in 2021 and 2022 due to reopening of the global economy and strong demand for semiconductor chips and medical equipment. However, in 2023, trade volume declined because of the global electronic slowdown and high inflation in Western countries, which reduced consumer purchasing power. Fortunately, trade recovered strongly in 2024 and 2025, supported by a rapid growth of artificial intelligence and cloud computing technologies, as well as Singapore's strong position as a global transshipment hub. Singapore mainly exports electrical machinery, refined petroleum products, and specialty chemicals, while its import consists mainly of raw materials and electronic components. Its key trading partners include China, Malaysia, Taiwan, and the United States. In terms of sustainability, Singapore integrates environmental strategies into its trade sector. The country invests in blue economy initiatives, including maritime decarbonization and green fuels, to ensure that its trade sector remains competitive while protecting the environment. Now, let's move to Singapore macroeconomic analysis between 2021 and 2025. The three important indicators are real GDP growth, unemployment rate, and inflation rate. This indicator demonstrates Singapore's effective monetary and fiscal policy management. Firstly, Singapore achieved stable economic growth with GDP growth reaching 5.3% in 2024 and 5% in 2025. This economic recovery generates higher tax revenue, allowing the government to invest in sustainability projects, including coastal and flood protection infrastructure. Secondly, the unemployment rate remained low between 1.9 and 2.1%, indicating state of full employment. Workers from traditional industry were provided with training and opportunities to transition into green economy sectors, ensuring that sustainable development also supports social welfare. Lastly, inflation reached 6.13% in 2022 due to rising global energy and food price. However, through effective monetary policies and a stronger Singapore dollar, inflation gradually decreased to 0.9% in 2025. This price stability encouraged business to continue investing in green technology and sustainable transformation. In conclusion, Singapore's strong trade performance and effective macroeconomic management have enabled the country to maintain economic resilience while supporting long-term sustainability and green development. That's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Nur Hazina binti Razak, my mate number is 72045, and today I will be presenting the Green Economy Project in Singapore. Let's begin with the introductions under section 2.1. As a small island nation, Singapore is highly vulnerable to the impact of climate change and face critical land constraints for building large-scale renewable energy facilities. Therefore, transitioning to a green economy model is not just a choice, but a strategic necessity to reduce reliance on imported natural gas and ensure that economic growth is effectively decoupled from carbon emissions. Moving on, let's look at the first major initiative under Section 2.2, which is the Solar Nova program. Launched in 2014, this groundbreaking program aimed to accelerate the adoption for solar photovoltaic system across Singapore. The uniqueness of this project lies in its demand aggregation strategy, where it consolidates the solar demand across various public sector assets, particularly on the rooftops of HDB public housing block and government buildings. Operating under a public-private partnership leasing model, private developer bear the full cost of financing, installing, and maintaining this system. Currently, Solar Nova has progressed to its massive phase 8 tender. Covering over 1,000 HDB blocks, this project not only provides clean energy to power common neighborhood utilities like lift and corridor but it also directly support the achievement on UN SDG 7, 11 and 13. Our second key project is the PCA Green Mark scheme under Section 2.3, introduced in January 2005. This scheme serves as a benchmark rating system to evaluate building environmental impact throughout its entire life cycle. Buildings are evaluated and graded into 4 performance tiers: certified, Gold, Gold Plus, and the higher tier, Platinum. To date, the scheme has successfully transformed Singapore's urban landscape with over 4,500 certified green buildings, accounting for more than 60% of the nation's total gross floor area. By integrating advanced technology such as the integrated green roof scene at the SGH campus, smart building management system, and energy efficient LED grids, this framework acts as a co-driver for SDG 9, 11, 12, and 13 in establishing a sustainable urban future. That's all from me. I will pass to the next presenter. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Siti Syara binti Kamrul Zaman. My matric number is SA1243, and I will present a 2 green economy project implemented in Singapore. The first project is Tuas Nexus Integrated Waste Management Facility. Tuas Nexus is one of Singapore's largest environmental sustainability projects. The project combines the integrated waste management facility managed by the National Environment Agency or NEA and the Tuas Water Reclamation Plant managed by the Public Utilities Board or PUB. The facility is located in Tuas, Western Singapore, and involves an investment of more than 5 billion Singapore dollar. The project was developed because Singapore faced increasing waste generation and limited land availability. Traditional waste disposal methods are no longer sufficient to support the country's future environmental needs. Therefore, Tuas Nexus was introduced to recover valuable resources from waste and wastewater instead of relying heavily on landfill disposal. Several green technologies are used in this project. The most important technology is waste to energy, where municipal waste is incinerated to produce steam that generates electricity. In addition, food waste and sewage sludge are processed through anaerobic digestion to produce biogas, which can be used as a renewable energy sources. The facility also uses advanced automation and digital monitoring system to improve efficiency and maximize resource recovery. This project provides many benefits. Environmentally, it reduces landfill waste and supports renewable energy generation. Economically, it creates employment opportunities in environmental engineering and green technology sector. Socially, it contributes to a cleaner and healthy environment while encouraging responsible waste management practice among the public. Thus, Nexus demonstrates how innovative infrastructure can support a circular economy by transforming waste into valuable resources such as electricity, biogas, and reclaimed water. It also contributes to several sustainable development goals, especially SDG 6, SDG 7, SDG 11, SDG 12, and SDG 13. The second project is the electric vehicle or EV initiative in Singapore. This initiative is one of Singapore's major green transportation projects and forms part of the Singapore Green Plan 2030. The main objective of the initiative is to reduce greenhouse gas emission from the transportation sector and promote cleaner and more sustainable mobility. Transportation is one of the contributors to carbon emission. Therefore, the government encourages the use of electric vehicles as an alternative to conventional petrol and diesel vehicles. To support the adoption of electric vehicles, Singapore has invested heavily in charging infrastructure throughout the country. The government introduced the EV Common Charger Grant or ECCG to support the installation of charging stations in private residential development. Singapore also aims to install 60,000 charging points by 2030, including 40,000 charging points in private premises and 20,000 in public locations. The initiative uses several green technologies, including electric vehicles powered by rechargeable batteries, EV charging infrastructure, and smart charging system. This technology helps reduce dependence on fossil fuels while supporting a cleaner transportation network. The benefit of this initiative can be seen from environmental, economic, and social perspective. Environmentally, electric vehicle helps reduce carbon emission and improve air quality. Economically, the initiative creates new business opportunity in the EV industry and charging infrastructure sector. Socially, it promotes sustainable lifestyle and increases public awareness about environmentally friendly transportation. The EV initiative plays an important role in supporting Singapore's transition toward a low-carbon economy. It contributes to sustainable transportation development and supports SDG 7, SDG 11, and SDG 13 through cleaner energy use and climate action.
Nurul Agusna binti Razadi. My metric number S66708. Part starting with 3.3 Sustainable Aquaculture Development. Singapore imports most of its food and with limited land and sea space. Available local seafood supply is about national resilience, not just economic. The goal, more local fish without harming the marine environment. Farm rely on automated feeders, round-the-clock weather sensor, and offshore floating farm sound flagging disease yearly. The payoff, fresher fish, more job, less pressure on white stock. But disease rate fast among farm fish, ocean space is limited and costs stay high. Even so, aquaculture remains key to a responsible blue economy. 3.4 Coastal and Marine Conservation Program. It's easy to assume a built-up country like Singapore has little room for mangrove or reef. That's wrong. Singapore grew the city while restore its shoreline because healthy reef and mangrove buffer storm and support fisher community depend on. This means coral transplantation, biodiversity monitor and partnership across government, researcher and volunteer. The payoff, eco-thousand species protection and communities reshape how they see the environment. Still, coastal development, runoff pollution and warming ocean are ongoing pressures Singapore has ignored. Maritime Singapore Decarbonization Initiative Shipping underpins a high share of global trade and emission. For Singapore, port-dependent economy, there's both responsibility and opportunity. The target is net zero across the industry. Getting there means hydrogen, ammonia fuel, electric aircraft, and digital system optimized ship movement. These serve two goals: meeting environmental commitment while strengthening competitive. Passport leading on decarbonization become more attractive. Cleaner air and green jobs are the upside, but step cost and missing hydrogen infrastructure make this harder than it looks. That's all from me. Thank you.
My name is Usaira Binti Abdurrahman, Nomatic S71002. I will discuss the achievement of Sustainable Development Goals in Singapore. Firstly, Singapore has made significant progress in SDG 7, which is focused on affordable and clean energy. Due to limited natural resources, Singapore has invested heavily in solar energy as its primary renewable energy sources. Solar panels have been installed on rooftop, reservoir, and public buildings throughout the country. Under the Singapore Green Plan 2030, the government aims to achieve at least 2 peak of solar energy by 2030. This initiative helps reduce carbon emissions while ensuring a reliable and sustainable energy supply for the future. Next is SDG 11, which is focused on sustainable cities and communities. Singapore is known for its effective urban planning and sustainable infrastructure. More than 80% of the population live in affordable public housing development by the Housing and Development Board. In addition, Singapore MRT system provide efficient public transportations, reducing traffic congestions and carbon emissions. The City in Nature initiative also promotes biodiversity and increase green space, making Singapore a more sustainable and livable city. And Singapore has also demonstrated strong commitment toward SDG 13, which is climate action. In 2019, Singapore became the first country in South Asia to introduce a carbon tax. This policy encouraged industry to reduce greenhouse gas emissions and adopt cleaner technologies. Furthermore, Singapore is investing in coastal protections, climate resilience projects, and energy efficient technologies to address the impact of climate change. These efforts support the country's long-term sustainable goals. Based on the finding, Singapore's success in achieving the SDG is largely driven by strong government leadership, effective policy, and technological innovation. Sustainability has been integrated into national development planning, allowing economic growth and environmental protection to progress together. However, Singapore still faces challenges, particularly its limited land area and renewable energy resources. Therefore, continuous innovations and regional cooperation remain important for achieving future sustainability targets.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Hana Nashrah binti Hasani Anwar. My metric number has 72213. I will present about conclusion on the status of green economy, blue economy, and HD. For the green economy, Singapore has successfully implemented initiatives such as the Solar Nova program and the BCA Green Mark scheme. The Solar Nova program increased solar energy generation by installing solar panels on public buildings, while the Green Mark scheme encouraged environmentally friendly building designs. Through strong public-private partnership, Singapore has expanded its clean energy capacity without placing excessive pressure on government finance. These initiatives have reduced energy consumption, improved resource efficiency, and create new economic opportunity in green industry such as energy adulting, sustainable construction, and environmental consultancy. In terms of the blue economy, Singapore continues to strengthen its position as a global maritime hub through the development of the Tuas Megaport. The use of artificial intelligence, automation and smart logistic systems improve operational efficiency while reducing fuel consumption and emissions. At the same time, sustainable aquaculture and marine conservation program help protect marine ecosystem and strengthen food security. Regarding SDG implementation, Singapore has made significant progress toward SDG 7 through larger scale solar energy deployment across public housing estates and reservoirs. The country also support SDG 11 by integrating efficient public transportation systems, green spaces and sustainable urban planning. Furthermore, Singapore demonstrates its commitment to SDG 13 through carbon pricing policies and investment in climate and adaptation measures such as coastal and flood protection projects.